Our dad has always taught us to help others and work together whenever we can. Teamwork is the best work, and the good of the team is more important than your individual ego. It's no wonder that he's being recognized for his incredible service to the swimming community.
Growing up with a strong leader and role model like our dad is a rare and lucky thing. He worked hard to raise us well while working a full-time job coaching high school swim at the same time. Knowing us, there's no way that was easy for him to do. In everything that Dad does, he is looking to help others. Dad has a lot of favorite lines to quote from movies and TV shows, but one that we heard a lot growing up is the line from Jerry Maguire, "Help me, help you." Working together to get better, get smarter, get stronger, and be good people has always been his goal.
We both had the unique opportunity and experience of being coached by our parents. And any student athlete would tell you, the coach-athlete relationship is a strange one, and it's only more complicated by being related to one another. But Dad made it easy to get along both on the deck and at the dinner table. He is empathetic and encouraging in his coaching, observant and generous in his teaching, and steadfast and kind in his parenting. And what is coaching if not parenting your athletes for 10 or more hours every week?
As a collegiate swimmer now, Dad and I continue to talk about swimming all the time. Whether I'm giving him set ideas from the practices I do, talking about swimmers back home, or meets coming up, it's something that has strengthened our bond over time. I am motivated by my dad and always try to get better to be able to text him my new best times and splits. I'm lucky to have been coached by him and cherish the memories we made together. He's a great motivator and an even better father.
And I had the special chance to coach with Dad after swimming on his team. Throughout the winter season, I gained even further respect and admiration for exactly how much care he puts into the team. His first stop after a full work day is the pool, and the first thing he does after dinner is prepare for the rest of the swimming week, whether that means sending emails, writing sets, or working to support the swimmers individually, arranging for meets and travel, making connections for graduating seniors, or finding new party pants in team colors. This all sounds like a lot of work, and it absolutely is, but to Dad, all of these things are like breathing fresh air. Coaching a swim team makes each day exciting, and working in service of the next generation of kind, talented, intelligent young people is worth as much energy as we can give.
Dad recognizes the importance placed on the role models and leaders of high school students and athletes, and he treats his position with dignity and respect. He calls coaching his fun job, which sounds like an oxymoron, but both parts of that phrase are true. By putting hard work into the team, really fun things can happen, like coaching your children at the state championship meet. He's probably going to tell you that he couldn't be here today without his family, but the truth is that we wouldn't be who we are without his dedication, love, and service, both to us and to others.
Thank you to Anna and Luke for that great introduction. I want to thank NISCA for this prestigious award. I'm honored to be recognized and glad to be sharing this award with other amazing honorees. When I look at the criteria to figure out how I was selected, it read 15 years in aquatics, 10 years in good standing, and I thought to myself, most of those qualifications only require me to get old. I've been at this for 30 years, and I love it with all my heart. But this criteria made me think about above average success. In May of 1991, I was going to graduate from college and still was looking for a full-time job. I applied at an all-girls private high school with a swimming program entering its second year of existence. I guess the athletic director saw something in me as a 21-year-old and decided to hire me despite having no coaching experience. Well, except for 1 year of fifth grade boys basketball. We lost that first dual meet 61-108, and I was off and running in pursuit of above average success. 30 years later, here I am. Magic, right? No, there's a recipe you can follow too, a recipe that you can teach to your athletes. The first one is catch a break. That athletic director who gave me a break was Peggy Siggers-Brown. Thank you, Peggy, for taking a chance on me. But you have to be out there looking for that opportunity, chase an opportunity, pursue a dream. The second one is support. I'm convinced that one's strength and longevity as a coach is directly related to the support group you have around yourself. I most certainly didn't get here by myself. Now, I can't tell you what your support group will look like or how to get them, but the biggest step lies in recognizing that success is not about you. Act on that, and I'm pretty sure you'll find yourself surrounded by the team you need. I would not be here today without loving parents who supported and love me unconditionally. They both have passed away now, but I know they are here with me as I speak. Thank you to my wife, Michelle. We call ourselves Team Bedalov because everything we have accomplished as a family team could not have been done by any of us individually. Michelle has been a pillar of strength for me during my coaching these last 30 years. I've worked in IT my entire life and have been blessed to work for owners of companies flexible enough to work around that crazy schedule during swim seasons. These companies value the sacrifice of giving back to the community to strengthen our youth through sports. I did have to tell them during the interview process in the second and third interviews that this is a big part of my life. None of what I've accomplished in swimming would be possible without those people in my life supporting me. In 2007, I left the all-girls school to get to a high school closer to home and my family. That school was Waukesha North. I want to thank Mr. Dan Domak, the AD who hired me, and Mr. Brian Schley for allowing me to stay on staff during his tenure as athletic director. It may sound simple, but that's the third part of the recipe. Just keep doing it. Keep doing what you love, and pretty soon you'll look back and find you've been racked up into this business for 20 years. It was around that time that swimming began giving back to me in a big way, as I was able to coach both of my children through their high school careers. I cannot tell you how rewarding that was for me. Both understood that I was doing my best to support the team 100%, and when I needed to, I was still dad. In both of their senior years, I asked my talented coaching staffs to coach them during big meets so I could just be a supportive parent. Anna was a talented swimmer with a heart of gold, and Luke started swimming with the high school team in 7th grade, so I feel like he's been with me and the team forever. He was a big part of resurgence in the boys program. That brings me to the fourth point of the criteria. As richly as the sport has rewarded me, giving me so many opportunities to make positive impacts on athletes' lives, I decided about 10 plus years ago to start reinvesting in the sport itself. As much as I recognize I did not get here by myself, I know not sharing my experiences and passions benefits no one. It is for others to judge the value of success. I only knew I had to share what I had to offer to improve where I could and simply help where it was needed. I became the vice president of our state association 2 years ago, and now I'm in my 5th 2-year term as president of the association. I've had the opportunity to speak at this convention, which led to speaking at the NISCA World Clinic. We started a coaches clinic in Wisconsin in 2015 for both athletes and coaches in the state. I leveraged my IT career. We started a Twitter account for the state association in 2016, and then an Instagram account in the fall of the same year. Those two things really pushed our state's governing body to start covering the state championships more with their social media presence. And then last year, we started a once-a-week webcast where we interviewed and shared knowledge from coaches across the state of Wisconsin. So here we are in no time flat, 30 years since I got a break that allowed me to take my first step on this journey of 1,000 miles. I keep doing the thing I love, supported by those who love me, and I continue to put myself out there where I can find new opportunities to make this sport for all those who come after me. And as far away as it may seem for you, you can do the same. And there's no better time than today to take that first step. Thank you again for this amazing honor.
Hello, my name is Rick Waterhouse. Just over a year ago now, I was sitting on a beach here in Manzanillo, Mexico when my phone dinged. For those of you old enough to remember the movie 10, it was the beach Bo Derek ran on. The phone message was from my dear friend Craig Carson. He asked if I would be attending the NC2As again this year with a group of coaching buddies. I replied yes. He asked if I would introduce him at this luncheon. I agreed immediately. Craig, his wife Paulette, and I have been friends for more than 40 years. A friendship that has included attending one another's weddings, being godparents for my daughter, frequent dinners, vacation trips, and countless hours spent together at swim meets. I could spend several minutes reviewing all of Craig's coaching accomplishments, but you have probably already read about them in the program. To me, the most impressive of Craig's accomplishments is that over the years he taught and coached at 3 different high schools. all within a fairly small geographic area. At each school, he developed the swim program into a championship one, an amazing feat. Craig and I have a somewhat unique coaching relationship. We have never coached together on the same team, but have often shared swimmers. He was their high school coach, and I was their club coach. We always worked together for the benefit of our swimmers. For many other swimmers, Craig was both their high school and club coach. I have reached out to many of these swimmers and to a few coaches for their thoughts about Coach Carson. Coach Don Hatery describes Craig as the consummate professional in all aspects: demeanor, deck presence, communication, and relationships. A great role model as an individual and as a coach. Coach Don Schwartz added, Craig has a ready smile, which helps him deliver the real truth when a swimmer comes up short in a race. Truth is tough, yet essential for growth. Craig is a specialist in delivering the truth. Don added that people are people. Craig understands this, he lives it. Coach Erica Pantel said, Craig is able to make all his swimmers feel special. I was a coaching rival of Craig's, and I believe our friendly rivalry made us each better coaches. Erica also said that Craig was always able to surround himself with good assistant coaches who could best help his program succeed. Carrie Wells, a former swimmer, assistant coach, and now principal at the high school Craig retired from, aspires to one of Coach Carson's favorite quotes: live in the moment, trust the process. All his swimmers called him Carson. They all had stories to tell. Erica Knutson said she really enjoyed her conversations with Carson about current events or any deep subject. Erica said she would usually try to distract him with one of those conversations when it was time for the group to begin a set of 500s. As the group started the set, she would hang on the wall and engage Carson in conversation. From Haley Love. Growing up in a world of swimming, I spent countless hours away from my family. So when I needed guidance, a shoulder, or a rock, I knew I could look to Carson to be those things for me. Danny Conforti says, Carson taught me the value of hard work and what not giving up can do for you. It's hard to put into words how much he means to me. Danny added, the sport is lucky to have someone like him, as am I. Well, Danny, I could not agree more. Those comments represent the type of positive influence Craig has had on countless others. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce a man I am proud to call my friend and who I love like a brother, Coach Craig Carson.
Thank you, Rick. We have been lifelong friends. Rick recently retired after more than 40 successful years of club coaching in Concord, California with the same team. That says a lot. He is now retired and lives in Mexico. His shirt says it all. I will forever remember how I felt when I opened the letter from Mel Roberts about my being selected for this honor. It is very humbling. I have followed the biographies of those honored by NISCA over the years and noticed how well-rounded and accomplished the individuals have been. It has encouraged me to be active in the sport as well as active in the community. This organization has provided countless high school coaches, swimmers, divers, water polo players with the motivation and encouragement to succeed and succeed at a very high level. Thank you very much, NISCA. Before I go on, there are several individuals I'd like to recognize. First, I'd like to thank my wife of 43 years, Paulette, for all of her support and understanding. You accepted my early mornings, my late nights, and missing many weekends, especially of family gatherings, unfortunately. You have always provided good advice and helped me keep things in perspective. I have also been fortunate to have several great mentors. When I was 16, my summer rec swimming coach, and later to be my school principal at Camp Lindo High School, Walter Hoy, asked me if I'd be interested in coaching the 6 and unders. From then on, I was hooked, and I knew that I wanted to be a teacher and a swimming coach. And everything that I did from then on was moving in that direction. I was also fortunate enough in college to swim for two world-class coaches, Nort Thornton, Ernie McGlisco. They taught me very much how to deal with individuals and how to relate to people, and helped me tremendously in developing my coaching style. During my student teaching at Red Bluff High School in Northern California, I met and coached with John Wyness, who back in the day coached with Jim Montrella at Lakewood Aquatics. We had a 4-lane pool with concrete slabs. It was built back in the 1940s. And in those days, using corporal punishment, misbehaving students were encouraged to dig the hole for the pool in sandstone. The concrete slabs were caulked with tar so it wouldn't leak, and we always had to have a can of gasoline at the pool in order for the kids to wipe all the tar off before they went home from practice. Our boys and girls team in 1973 won the Northern California CIF section championships, and I still hear from some of those special individuals, and that was 48 years ago. Thank you, John, for giving me a good start with high school coaching and for all the laughs and the great memories along the way. I learned early on that coaching is about relationships, taking things seriously, but not too seriously. I've been fortunate to have supportive friends inside and outside of the sport. Along with Rick, coaches like Don Schwartz, Dave Krodiak always have insightful things to share, and they can always put a smile on my face. I'm also lucky to have a close group of friends that provide support and have a genuine interest in life, and my activities. My approach to coaching swimming has always been about enriching young people's lives and challenging them to see what they can accomplish. It's about building memories, relationships, and respect. They are the ones in control of what they do. I try to get them to be in the present and be responsible for their own decision making. Many swimmers went on from high school to accomplish far greater things in the water, and many now have very successful careers. The discipline of swimming and the lessons learned through swimming are a big reason for that success. I would like to thank NISCA again for this great honor and all of you that are here. Thank you.
Mr. Chuck Fargo. I have known Chuck since I first arrived at Evanston as head coach of our club team 26 years ago. I was told that Chuck came with the pool. The pool was built in 1958, and Chuck has been here almost every day since. Chuck pretty much can tell you about every state champion since the beginning of time. He has a voracious appetite for statistics and has kept me apprised of every top time on every team in the States since I took over as head coach of the high school teams in 1997. Chuck swam on those great high school teams of Evanston, helping them to a state championship in 1962. It took nearly 50 years to get back on top, but in 2001, Chuck again helped us win the Illinois High School Championship and become the top public school in the nation. That same year, I took Chuck's project and put it online. While I built the website, Chuck has done all the hard work of entering the times and doing the rankings. Every year at the beginning of the school, Chuck asks me, when can I put the rankings and top times up on the site? Every year, I give him the same answer. I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. I can't tell you the number of accolades I have received over that site, and when someone questions their ranking, I make sure that they know Chuck did it. In 2005, we won the state championship for a second time, just as Chuck had correctly predicted when the season began. Team stats, conference stats, state stats, Chuck stays on top of them week to week. This is a thankless but extremely valuable job. Just in case you think this Chuck is one-dimensional, however, he isn't. During Frosh Conference Week, Chuck takes the Frosh to the back pool and educates them on the history of the team, how to get their minds ready to swim fast, and how shaving your head is a great tradition. The kids love Chuck, and since he retired from teaching at the high school, I want to say 12 years ago, he has been my volunteer assistant on the varsity team. I mean, who does this job voluntarily? Okay, we all say we would, but Chuck puts his money or lack thereof where his mouth is. The kids love Chuck so much that his quotes regularly appear on our t-shirts, and his face has adorned a few as well. My favorite is the Fonzie pose. Hey. I'm so happy that the National Interscholastic Swim Coaches Association has chosen to honor my colleague and fellow Wildcat, Chuck Fargo.
I want to thank Kevin for those kind words, many of them true. We have been together, as he said, for about 25 years now, and we've had a lot of fun times together, and it's really been great. We have garnered a lot of good swims over those times, and I appreciate Kevin trusting me to do the things that I do. I also, oh, by the way, most of you wouldn't know that Kevin was on the ill-fated 1980 Canadian Olympic team as a 200-meter butterflyer. I'd like to give a little shout out now to Mark Onstadt, who I competed with for about 2 decades. Mark, along with Kevin, have really been responsible for softening the Evanston-New Trier rivalry, at least in swimming. I can't guarantee that for other sports. And thank you to my family, because these hours, they gotta be something special to tolerate and put up with them. As I look out at all you people, all you know what I mean, all you people sitting there, I think of when we took that first coaching class in college, Coaching 101, Foundations of Coaching, whatever you wanted to call it. Mine was taught by the football coach. After he introduced himself to all us who were football players, he said 2 very important things that day. One, when you get your first job and you're moving into a new community, join your local civic organization, become part of the community. As a veteran, I belong to the American Legion in Evanston. The second thing he said was, join your professional organization, which is what you all are. On April 1st, it'll be 17 years since I had my double bypass. My doctor was not pleased with the day I picked, but I think that tells you more about him than me. I chose a surgeon who was in his early 70s, but had done over 20,000 of these types of operations, and he had a different idea. The standard operating procedure at the time was to take whatever is needed from your legs. He thought the closer you took what you needed to your heart, the longer it would last. So he took one from my left arm and one from inside my chest. As it turned out, when they got in there, they found out my body had already made 2 bypasses on their own. But the point is, this is a person with a different idea. And that's the way I look at swimming in the United States. We do not have a swimming czar sitting on the top of Mount Weissmuller, dictating to every program in the country how they're doing. We have coaches everywhere, experimenting, expanding, trying new things, readapting old things, and doing everything to make swimming a lot better in the USA. And because of this, you see that we have outstanding swimming all over the country. Champions come from here, there, everywhere. And it's because of that attitude that everybody is looking to do something their way, a little bit different. As I said in a speech a couple of years ago when I was introducing Kevin for an award, the only thing we do the same at Evanston every year is we do something different. My coach told me several years before he passed away that if one coach had all the answers, he'd have all the champions. Once again, thank you for the association for this honor, and keep up the good work.
I take this opportunity to say I feel very honored to be able to present this award to Matt. I've gotten to know Matt since about 1980 when we opened our new pool in Bayonne and hosted a few championships for the state of New Jersey. and Matt and his team participated. I found Matt to be an exceptional gentleman. Matt was the type of coach that really highlights his swimmers. Now, he pioneered the Bergen County Girls Swimming Championships, which were held in Bayonne, not in Bergen County, but in Hudson County to begin with, and then moved on from there. He was the tournament director from late 90s through the 2000s, and he was also a speaker at the Big North Conference Sportsmanship Summit. He was the New Jersey Boys Team of the Year, the Boys Coach of the Year, Bergen County Boys Coach of the Year, the Big North League Patriot Division Boys Coach of the Year, the John Zaturko Memorial Outstanding Coaches Award, and the National Federation's Coach of the Year for boys swimming and diving, and the New Jersey Coach of the Year for boys swimming and diving. He was the head coach at Teaneck High School from the 1980s through 2020, I guess last year, 31 years. He's had 6 top 25 NISCA dual meet team rankings, and his boys finished #1 in the 2020 nation for the team of the GPA, according to the NISCA Scholar Team rankings. He's just been outstanding young man, I'm going to say, but an outstanding coach. Congratulations, Matt.
Thank you, Tom, for that introduction. My name is Matt Green. I coached at Teaneck High School, and I first met Tom 1989, my first year coaching. My Teaneck team went against his Bayonne team, and I don't remember the outcome of the meet, but I do remember right after the meet, he called me into his office and he handed me a NISCA journal. He said, "Read this, join this organization. You're going to learn a lot about how to be a swim coach." And I did. One thing I learned was to surround yourself with good people. And I've been fortunate to have an assistant coach most of my career at Teaneck. First with Donna Sharp, Kristen Scravis, Stephanie Bear, Joanna Ebert, and Darnell Pinkney. All of them tremendous coaches, and I was very fortunate to have them with me. It was pretty neat that Joanna and Darnell didn't just swim for me at Teaneck High School, but I taught them in the younger grades. I had Joanna in elementary and Darnell in the middle school. It was really neat to then end your career with your former swimmers alongside of you on the pool deck. One thing when I was coaching, I always emphasized with the swimmers was that anything swim related for the day was the most important thing we can do that day. And I use it in my personal life. I get up and go to the gym in the morning, and that's the most important thing I'm doing, is that workout. Of course, head on to school now and teach my phys ed classes, and make sure each and every one of those students in the gym class knows that this class and what we're doing is the most important part of the day. Now the school day ends and I get on the bus, and swimmers and I head off to practice, and it's 75 minutes in the pool, and they know it's the most important part of their day. We're working at practice or we're heading to a meet, and we treat it like it's the most important thing we can do. I have to thank those Teaneck swimmers. They were awesome for all those years. They kept me on my toes, kept me feeling young, and just tremendous competitors. They respected the sport, respected their opponent, and were awesome ambassadors for Teaneck High School. So I'm proud and honored to receive such a prestigious award. Thank you again, NISCA.